Mr. Tim Booth, Tri-Township.
Thank you for your time. I'll allow me to say something tonight. Chad, myself, Tim Booth, we are school board for Tri-Township Corporation. I don't know how familiar you are with recent conversations about the school project happening. So I don't want to be redundant if there's information that you have already heard. But it was probably a year ago, even maybe longer than that, where the board was brought a requirement or a request from the superintendent where he made a recommendation that we look at adding on to the Wanatah school and moving the high school kids from across to Wanatah because of the declining building construction of across the school. The lacrosse school was built in 1915. We're throwing a lot of money into the school itself. There's a lot of infrastructure problems. It's an old building, and we've been maintaining it the best we could. Previous administrations have been maintaining it the best they could. So it's been a very, very large challenge. We're paying duplicate expenses between the two corporations, water bills, electric bills. And back in 2012, when we were consolidated, there were a lot of things that weren't in place that are now, where the school funding formula has changed to a great deal. So we were getting a larger amount for ADM for each student, and all these things have happened and transpired in the last, now going on 9 or 10 years. So all schools, of course, are dealing with the same thing, where they're struggling to make sure that we have enough. You're paid by how many students you have in your school, and it's, of course, the more population you have, the better it is to pay your bills, and you're make sure you're providing the proper programs and everything for the children. So it's become more of a struggle for us than all school corporation for public schools.
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
If you want to take your mask off while you're talking, so you don't have to keep messing with it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I appreciate that. Is this redundant? Is this information helpful for you?
I can hear it better.
Yeah. So that all being said, is we've been working through this. I mean, it's very, very hard because we look town across the school important to them, and it's important. I went to school there. All these things are really important. We know there's a lot of history and all these other things there. So this has been a very challenging topic for us. But we also know to do something had to be done because we want to make sure our township is strong. Something of Port County, we're representing the county well and making sure we have a good place and a safe place and where our children can get a good education. So where we are now is we've been through the process and all the approvals required, and we are going through a design build project. Design build, they put, I think, surveys out to over 23 people at PACUS, asking them to build on the project. And that process has been taking place over the last few months. And it was the technical committee made a recommendation for a company called Performance Services, who's also done work others across the globe in the past, and also at Wanatah. In the past, they've done projects for us where they recommended they be the person who's going to do the design build project. So, which brings me here tonight, and Chad, is there anything I'm missing?
No.
So, where we are tonight is we have to make a decision now. There's a dollar amount that is allotted to this project that was approved by the technical committee, and we need to get the most out of this project, the best of our ability, with the funds we have that the bond would be issued for when this all happens. So we're trying to make the best determination to spend the money in the best way to make sure the kids are getting the best programs, we're utilizing the space the best. So the reason I came, and Chad, is to kind of show you what we're thinking, because part of this would affect the road on the north side of the school, and so there's two options that we're looking at based upon the recommendations where we are so far, and one of those options would actually be required to change the school route, the road in front of the school on the north side, which would of course affect all of you. So we're wanting to make sure that you are aware of that as a potential option, any concerns or things that you would have on that, and openness to allow us to do that if that becomes the best, most effective way to spend the resources that we have, because the utilities are closer there, so it's a lot more affordable to do the addition on the north side than the west side, which I'll be showing you. The challenges is there's also, of course, the road construction and the change that will be adding to the cost. So they're weighing all those things out to make sure during a really trying time in any construction and all the resources and everything required to try to get this done for the most affordable amount. So do you have any questions so far on that information that I can provide? So here's an example of what it would look like would be the front page of our current existing building. So as you can see on the very front page, this is our current footprint. And then page 2 is what would be potentially proposed for the addition to allow the high school students now to come to Wanatah School and be part of the whole a true K through 12, which there's also many program savings like redundancy of teachers and travel, driving back and forth with the teachers and shared math teachers, all these things we could start doing sharing, which is another reason why this has been looked at, the amount of dollar we'll be saving for the corporation. Page 3 is actually, you can see what this is again, one option where the proposed addition would be and how it may impact the road at the north side of the school. So they're projecting, just as a guess from performance services, that little outlet that would be added in addition to what is there today would be roughly $250,000. So that would be, again, dollars taken away from the project itself, but they're also trying to weigh that with the utility cost on the north side. So this doesn't affect the town, but I also read the second option that I can hand out to you. This is the west option. Back in 2017, I believe it was, the Wanatah Lions Club agreed to sell the existing lease property where the playground is, and there's tennis courts. They agreed, so there's an agreement made by them that they would sell that property to the school, so this is the secondary option that we have. So this would be the potential for the west addition, again, only for concept purposes for this, for your review, where they just, again, there's a lot more of our utilities are on the east side by the gymnasium, so a lot more expenses on the utility side that they're looking at, but again, utilizing the current space that we have, which would be just the north of the tennis courts by the school corporation. So the reason, again, we're here is to let you know what's going on in the town of Wanatah is we're working together, we're trying to make sure we're taking care of the students, giving them the proper programming and also investing in the town. I think it'd be a good thing for our town and our population to have, a true K through 12 building. It's really hard to have the morale and the culture and all the things we're trying to do in two separate buildings and bring all the teachers and children and everything together. But again, also because of the expenses and other challenges that we deal with every day. So one is that if you would have any conflict if they decide to go with option 1 so they can continue that process, which would be the north side road change. And then another thing, I know this is a lot to ask, but I want to throw it out there. There's a lot of CARES Act money out there and things like that. This construction, if approved, and they can get it done for the dollar amount allotment, would be started this summer, and the hope would be done before the next school year, so 2022. And I know with CARES fund money and the options that are out there, if there's any consideration, I know you don't have the budget for this to assist the school in any way, shape, or form. If there's CARES money that could be attributed to the road construction to help us with the cost to get more programming or square feet for the kids when we look at what the proper final costs are. So I know that's a lot to ask, but I know we're applying for CARES Act money, and I'm hearing there's a lot coming this year and next year for some of the institutions, and there's just something I threw out there. But the most important thing is to see if you consider the north side addition, if we did do that, the roadway.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just like the logos and stuff like that, that's looked into, but it's
I'm sorry.
Like building codes, like as far as is this gonna put us over an edge to want us to retrofit fully sprinkling the system?
Yeah, the performance definitely is looking into all those type of things. So, those are all definitely things that they would be. I'm sure that they've done additions before. They do. Their resume is huge. The references and things that they do. So there's, they've done schools like $20 million addition to things. But as far as here, I don't have that information tonight.
Yeah. I see where it would be better for the school to build on that north end.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at ultimately at the end of the day, we all want to do what's best for the children, and
That's right.
we all want to make sure they're safe. And
Yeah.
I don't want to get anybody in particular in trouble or
Yes.
kind of a shit show, so to speak. Of
Right now, I don't think they've even. I think they've definitely probably looked into that information. I don't think even put this out there for the market until we make a decision, like who the builders would be and all these things. They pull all this all together to try to get done with cost.
also, I didn't notice any type of addition or anything like that to this gymnasium. I mean, is that going to be something to bring that up for the high schoolers? So it's all right here. Or?
Yeah, the high school remains to be in lacrosse for the high school. So their goal, there's so much history there and everything. The goal would be that would be still a fully functional school and it'd still be supporting the high school athletics and everything that goes on. So this would still be the K through 8 high school utilization. They might share practices and things, but all games and everything would still take place. And even if you've been to lacrosse on softball fields, the baseball fields, they've done huge improvements over there. So that would all stay utilized like it is today. None of that would be required to change that.
So it would still be maintaining
The gymnasium.
the gymnasium. So going back to what you said previously, we would still be having to maintain 2 water accounts, 2 power accounts, 2 everything.
But only for the gymnasium, not for the school system itself.
But isn't the gymnasium taken care of by the school system?
The usage will be a lot less than just the gymnasium. The gym was
No, I understand. Yeah. We still got minimums and everything else.
Yes. I think when I looked at the last, I'm guessing here the last time.
Maybe I misunderstood what you were saying earlier, but earlier it sounded like when you were saying that, like, we're going to be able to eliminate one of these, but if we're still going to utilize that, then technically we're not really eliminating anything. We're just taking from lacrosse and moving to Wanatah.
I would estimate between electrical utilities and water between the two. I mean, they would probably lacrosse would probably go down by 80% compared to what it is today. I think we pay roughly, I guess that changes based upon the season, $8,000 every month. So you're looking at like a $6,000 monthly savings just there, just as a guess.
Go ahead. The north side addition, what you're proposing to build now, we have a water main that follows that curve.
Okay.
And even with, we have no trace to the wire, we just gotta go out and find the main, basically. You might be bumping that main, but on your future addition, for sure that whole main would have to be moved.
So hopefully the new road will be okay that way.
And I'm just assuming you're gonna have probably 3 or 4 stop here, and you'll just go around, correct?
Yeah, that's what I
I
said.
shop my coffee, that's what I can.
You're just gonna have 3 or 4 stop here, and then you're just gonna turn and go this way, right?
So pretty much it's just an extension, like of course here it is, right? So that probably to your point 3 or 4 ways.
You see the main follows that curve,
Yeah.
goes under here, comes up here, and then back here.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, that's something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you probably doesn't have to move it.
I know they would definitely, when they start this whole process, if everything moves forward, there's processes yet, performance would definitely be talking to yourself, and making sure that crossing the T's and dotting their I's. We're kind of both here, we're definitely not as integrated
take all this information into consideration here, off the jump and everybody else. We'll go over what we can do. You know, we'll make it happen for the kids. Okay. Ordinance on the garbage can. Mr. Allen,
Is that here? Yes, just strictly information. Yes.
Yeah, we're bringing that. At some point, we would like, if we could, as soon as April approval, if it does end up being the north end, if we'd like to, if that becomes the most affordable, efficient method, that we would get approval by the town of Wanatah to do so, so that becomes the best way.
Yeah, little changes though.
Yes.
Because you guys gotta be careful with all that, particularly for this stuff.
yeah.
Right.
Thank you. He did, he got a permit there.
I did.
You were waiting for it, were you? Not really.
In about 2 minutes we would be.
That's what happens when you get to be read by, see. Okay.